Welcome all you wayward wastelanders to our genetic research and cloning facility. I am the officer in charge. My name is Officer. You can call me that. And this here is my boy. Well, I used to call him Meat Boy, but now he goes by the name of Meat Man, as he's all grown up, and he's really mutated into quite the genetic freak of nature. Just so you're aware, I actually collected some DNA from a super mutant, and I cloned our Meat Man here, giving him superior genetic abilities and DNA from not only that super mutant, but all super mutants. He's also quite aggressive, but he's also the leader of our super mutant army, which I must say at the moment isn't really looking like much of an army. I think we're quite a few soldiers short. But today, my friends, thanks to all of our superior genetic knowledge as well as our wonderful laboratory, we are going to be cloning quite a few more super mutants to add to our army, finally finishing it off once and for all. But first, we do have something else to take care of. We have a human specimen who, if you watched the last episode, we actually collected DNA from. She's currently nude, so we're going to be giving her an outfit to put on, and we are going to be escorting her to the door, because we're not monsters. Even though, sure, our super mutant baby boys may look like monsters to some folks, out here in the wasteland you get quite used to these types of things. Not to worry, ma'am, he's not going to crush your head like a watermelon. You are free to go. Sorry about, forcefully removing strands of your DNA for samples for our soldiers. Hopefully you don't hold any grudges. Now, before we begin cloning new super soldiers, I'm sure many of you are guessing that I'll collect new DNA from Super Meat Man because he is genetically superior. However, his genetics make him incredibly aggressive and also make him find joy in beating the life out of someone. Well, funny enough, I prefer my skull without fractures, as well as having my brain still being inside of it. So we'll stick with the original super soldier DNA sample for the soldiers. I couldn't imagine if they all turned on us and started beating us to death. It wouldn't be good. Alright, fire up those test tubes, boys and girls, because we are about to cook, as the young kids say. We would immediately start the cloning process on all of our growth vats. I think about 15 in total, if I'm not mistaken. And just in case you've forgotten, this DNA that we're using is the original sample that we had taken from Super Meat Boy, or Meat Man now, to make the current clones that we have as the arm. So we already know that the offspring that will be growing in here will be an ample fighting force. But now comes the hard part. We have to wait for these little bastards to grow up. I wish there were a way to speed up this process, but truth be told, it's pretty fast anyhow. Alas, I suppose we'll have to wait. Luckily, though, we'll be able to keep ourselves occupied while waiting on them to grow, as we have a shit ton of work to do. Most of it being research. As you see, I want to get us some energy turrets that will be the perfect automated defense force to go along with all of our robots that we already have, our Protectrons and Mr. Handies, just in case whenever our super mutants are out on a mission. That way we can make sure that we can protect ourselves. The only little catch is we have a lot of prerequisite research that we need to complete first, and it's going to take an extremely long time. But luckily, we have plenty of time to spare. As I was working on this crucial research, though, I would have Damon go about making some new technology that our soldiers could use in the field. That's right. Mini turret backpacks. Obviously, we're not unfamiliar with these, as the vault dwellers that we were staying with for many years there actually use these quite often as well for their security force and for their adventuring teams. And I think they're going to be perfect for Meat Man and the rest of our forces. They fire autonomously, completely independent of the wearer, basically like having a robot best friend gun on your back. But we're not done there, as we do have some new tech hardware that we are making for the very first time. Unfortunately, we only have enough advanced components and other materials to make one of them. But this range shield belt is going to be amazing, again, for Meat Man, since he is the leader of our forces. This will help protect him against ranged attacks, kinetic, energy-based, plasma, or otherwise. We also finished up our research into gunsmithing, the first of many, and I do mean many, to complete before we get our energy-based turrets. In the meantime, though, I've decided to send out a caravan to a nearby settlement of slavers. No, we're not going to be trading with them. You see, normally we're pretty neutral to slavers. We don't want to buy any slaves, but I suppose we won't impede their business practice. Normally. However, if they were to be cleared out, not only would we be doing the wasteland a just service, but nobody would mind. Could be a good opportunity to get weapons, armor, resources, etc. for our new soldiers that are coming in, as well as a chance to test Meat Man's abilities in combat. All by himself, and then off he would go, heading that way, although it is going to take quite a few days. I do want to say, though, the only reason I'm really sending him out on his own is because I love having a super soldier army, but we really haven't had the opportunity to see what one super soldier, our strongest, our leader, can really do on their own. And I think this is going to be really fun. And, you know, if we kill some slavers, set some people free in the process of doing that, oh, that's good. While we're waiting on him to arrive, though, I noticed back home at the lab we were having a little bit of an electricity issue, which also means that some of our clones are about to die. As quick as a flash, we would immediately rush to our reactor room to swiftly build yet another to hopefully power all of our growth vats, and then... shit, we're out of uranium. Scratch that. Plan B. We need a backup power source like a wood-fired generator. We quickly rushed to build that one after failing to power up another nuclear one, and I think we're okay now. Whew, that was a close call. We didn't lose a single clone, but we damn near came very, very close to losing every single one. We would have lost a lot of time, progress, and also a lot of biomass there. Well, that's what I get for being a little bit too invested and interested in Super Meat Boy's journey to kill some despicable folks. Now then, staying back on topic, with all of our new soldiers that are growing, they are going to need somewhere to sleep, are they not? And I don't expect our other soldiers to make room where they're at, especially because, well, we really don't have any more room there to expand. So down at the southern section of the laboratory, we are going to be adding in 2 brand new barracks. This should be plenty of room for the current ones growing, as well as any more if we plan to grow them. With that finished, our soldiers aren't the only things growing. We also have plenty of crops that are growing, that are just sitting out there in the field, fully grown, waiting on our Mr. Farm Handy, Old MacDonald, to harvest them. I think he could use a little bit of help, and because of that, we are going to be assembling and gestating a second Mr. Farm Handy. We got a lot of mouths to feed, and quick. But as our new mechanoid friend is assembling, it would seem Papa's little homicidal mutant has finally arrived at the damn dirty slaver settlement. First things first, we need to take a look around and see exactly what we're going to be dealing with of all the folks that we plan on spilling their blood. I will say for the most part I was none too impressed. They had many a human soldier with some mismatch armor, but they also had quite a few Mr. Gutsies as well as Protectrons. Still, nothing too interesting, except for a few of their soldiers who were wearing power armor, brandishing a large grenade launcher as well as gigantic miniguns. Now those might be a challenge, and we love challenges. Oh yes, our Super Meat Man is going to be a one-man band in this regard of attacking this base. He is extremely strong, of course, but we need to watch out for this mortar here that's going to be firing right at us. That was a good attempt. There are quite a few of them, though. They have quite a few mechanoids. Not that I'm all that concerned with the Mr. Gutsies, though it looks like some of them have flamers. A good portion of them seem to have flamers, and as we already know, there are, of course, people in power armor, so we need to be quite careful with how we approach. We are immediately moving into position here. Now, we do have the great shooting trait, so that should allow us to be basically able to hit them most of the time, I'd say. The Flamer Mr. Gutsies, as we kind of discussed, we have to kind of watch how we approach them, because There we go, we took one down. The reason that we have to watch how we approach these Mr. Gutsies is because even if we are extremely strong, a super soldier such as Meat Man here, getting caught on fire is going to cause him to rush around looking for water or whatever he can to put it out, going to lose control of him. Alright. We have some more slavers coming our way. I'm going to try not to move in before taking out their gutsies because I don't want to be caught on fire, as mentioned. That's my biggest concern at the moment. I hear one, and I see one. We do have to be careful. This person has... Is that... Looks like T51 power armor, so... Let's see if we can move around this way without getting caught by this Mr. Gutsy. I want to hit it with a grenade and stun it, but you know what? Blasting it into hell with a laser minigun is fine too. Oh my god, another one! Here they come. Great, great. Go, go, go. Move, move. I don't want to get caught on fire. Almost had me there, little fella. Thanks to our shield, we're also doing fine against bullets, of course. We're going to have to move through this little corridor here. They seem to be a bit nervous to come in here after us. This could be just what we need. If we could take aim at the power armor person here before they get us with that grenade launcher. Ah, that power armor is extremely tough, though. Oh, man, there we go. We're finally starting to hit. Uh-oh. Oh, shit. There's only one of me, and then there's... two of them, one with a giant minigun. Uh-oh. Alright, so we're... we destroyed the base! We destroyed it! Alright, move back. I'm gonna kill as many of them as possible. Here we go. Oh, there you went. I'm gonna kill you too. Oh, that sucks. Do I care about killing these Protectrons? Not really, but I'm gonna do it anyways. They were the Protectrons of filthy slavers, so, you know, might as well, I suppose. Now, we do have a set of, hello, what are you? T45 power armor that we'll have to wash, of course. We do have a minigun, as you can see here. Ooh, la la. We also have quite a few rifles, a grenade launcher, a ripper, holy shit, and we also, of course, have the T51 power armor from their other soldier. All that, by the way, and Meat Man has only sustained cracks and bruises. Oh, he really is the perfect super soldier, isn't he? Looks like these folks up here are still alive. You know what, actually? What I want to do immediately, because we are creating our clone army. We take no prisoners, obviously, but we will take prisoners' armor. Because this combat armor and stuff's going to be great. And we'll even finish off these damn dirty slavers. And we're very hungry, so we're going to go ahead and eat a fine meal. We might have to stay here for a while. I sent Meat Man trying to prove a point that, oh, we could take them all out with only Meat Man. And of course we could. I just had to play it right, which I did, and here we are. However, Meat Man's probably not going to be able to carry all his junk back on his own. So we're going to have to send a little caravan to help us out with that. I'm also going to go ahead and strip all these other soldiers so that we can get their armor. Of course, it doesn't matter. We could strip them after they're dead and just wash them, but this will save us a lot of time and effort, and we'll just be able to go ahead and give it to the clones once they're actually born. We can also check out this base. It looks like their generators are going down. Oh, I forgot they have turrets. We'll need to destroy those next. Oh, speaking of turrets, we finished research into gun turrets. Sweet. And goodbye. We'll finish off the rest of them, too. Let's check the place out a bit. Looks like it's completely encompassed with some ancient stuff. Not too concerning. We have a little bit of food. I don't expect that slavers would have anything of interest here, except maybe... Whoa, hello. A legendary flight helmet. Golden flight helmet. Pocketed as well. Now that, pocketed, doesn't that mean... Oh, yeah, I see it now. So pocketed means it actually boosts carrying capacity by 25%, which is crazy good. Oh, we have combat armor. Now that's useful. And we have 1,228 caps in this room. Any more caps anywhere? I'll also accept NCR dollars or silver or gold or, well, quite frankly, I'll accept anything. This is an empty room. It doesn't look like there's anything else unless there's something in this tiny room, but I don't think so. Pumpkins. So we have a little bit more food. We got plenty of caps, though. We got a nice legendary golden pocketed flight helmet, and we also have some combat armor, which is cool. We also have a shit ton of armor from all of these damn dirty dead slavers. I think I'm actually going to go ahead and I'm going to put a stockpile right here. I am going to start hauling all of this armor and stuff up here while we're waiting on a caravan that can actually help us hauling everything back. Because that is going to be an absolute bitch, and I'm a little silly Billy for not thinking ahead of time about that. But oh, well, I digress. We'll also need to strip these power armor corpses so we can make sure we get that hauled urgently as well. But I think we're pretty much done here, except for waiting on our caravan, which I will be sending out very shortly, as well as all this hauling work, of course. Before we do that, though, I do want to point out that Mr. Meatman here was extremely excited about all the killing that he did. It really boosted his mood. A little bit depraved, but as long as it's the right people, i.e. people like slavers, I suppose there's nothing wrong with it. We would send out a 4-man super soldier team to meet him at this new settlement to help him carry everything back along with him. And so yet again we find ourselves playing the waiting game, waiting on them to arrive this time, but that's okay because we still have a lot of work to do around the laboratory. We're going to be expanding the facility a little bit on the eastern side, and the reason for this time around is because we're going to be adding in new growing zones. A decent-sized garden, or I suppose at this size we could call it some type of farm, and we are going to be growing a lot of corn and rice here. Of course, our super mutants couldn't care less about the variety of different crops in their food. Rice grows very fast, meaning we can feed them very fast, and corn has a lot once you harvest, which is going to be perfect for growing all of the little soldiers in their growing vats. And you'll also notice I added in quite a few sprinklers throughout here as well to help speed along the growth process. And as if on cue, our brand new Mr. Farm Handy was finally finished assembling by this time as well. But we can't have you working without a proper name, my friend, so we are going to be naming you Taproot, which is actually a great name suggestion from our friend Gorilla King 2452. So thank you for that, my friend, and thank you to everyone who's always suggesting names. I couldn't be more grateful to you all. As Taproot was starting to get to work in the fields, our team of super mutants was also arriving at the slavers' settlement to help out Meatman. They grabbed up all the drugs, all the caps, all the rifles, anything and everything that they could. And several days later, they would finally return back home without being ambushed or anything like that on the road. Which is funny, because normally when I do these Fallout series in RimWorld, we're always getting ambushed. I suppose people might be smart enough not to attack a gigantic super mutant, especially not 4 or 5 of them wearing power armor. Nevertheless, though, I must say that was quite the haul, as we managed to get, I think, almost every bit and piece of armor and weaponry that we had hoped to from the slaver settlement. A grand achievement. I would say all this was free, but I suppose we did pay for it in blood, huh? Not our blood, though, and that's what matters. Our soldier, Callan Kelly, actually decided to throw a party to celebrate our grand achievement and our grand occasion of beating those slavers into the dirt. Everybody came into the cafeteria and they partied for several hours. Not me, though. I had bigger fish to fry, like finishing up some research so we could finally start on energy turrets. We're almost there, folks. I also noticed that our 2-headed grizzly bear Cuddles had been partying with the folks, and it looks like she's actually very much high on go juice, drunk on alcohol, and also has, I guess, a buzz from Nuka-Cola. Jesus Christ, girl. Speaking of injectable drugs that'll make you go, 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 especially during combat, we are actually going to start synthesizing our own go juice in our little drug laboratory here, something I've been meaning to do since the last episode when we got our own Nutramine, but better late than never, I suppose. I'm also going to be setting it up as a restricted zone for Cuddles, that way everybody knows not to let the damn bear in here, otherwise she'll suck up all the go juice. I think she's been drinking it. I don't even know if you're supposed to do that. And then finally, my friends, after much waiting, our little baby mutated freaks had finally been born. Of course, these little cloth-swaddled boogers are not going to be capable of killing anyone, though, so we're gonna have to stuff them back into their tubes to do a bit of growing. But this is the moment of truth to find out how many of them we're going to have, and how many of them are dead. Looks like so far there's only one of them that has died, so that's good news. Well, for all the other ones, not for us, or the dead one, obviously. Alright, you little silly billies, get back in there and finish up growing, okay? We need you big, strong, ready to murder anybody that we point you towards, okay? And as for you, my little green cadaver, I'm afraid I must introduce you to our friend butchering table so that you can help your brothers grow big and strong. With that completed and our little baby mutant fish put back in their tanks, I'm running out of metaphors here that might seem funny. We are actually going to be working on our defenses once more. You can see down here at the southern part of the base, we're building yet another high security fence with some barbed wire on top, designed specifically to keep out unwanted visitors. And of course, I liked it so much that I decided to wrap it around the entire facility, even including our little farm up around the nuclear waste pond that we should have been doing this entire time, but again, better late than never. Now nobody will be able to come through that way or to shoot at us through that way, which seemed to be quite the issue last episode. We also ended up having a bulk goods trader of random wastelanders not really affiliated with any of the local factional governments. Perfect, as we were looking to purchase some components, and we ended up getting almost 40 of them. Seems like a lot, but trust me, we're going to need them. The reason being, the laser turrets require 20 components each. Yes, 20. Speak of the devil, we actually finished the research to go about making those as well shortly thereafter. And we would waste absolutely no time installing our very first on the western entrance. Oh my, ladies and gentlemen, take it all in. This is superior automated defensive technology. Some of the best that this world, this wasteland, whatever, has to offer. I was so tickled that we could finally build them that I ended up building 3 in total, 1 at each entrance of the facility's gates. And in doing so, I also used up all the components that we had in storage, but that's okay, we'll do a trade mission or something soon. I also want to mention that we've been home since killing the slavers for quite some time at this point. I forgot exactly how long, but it was enough time for us to go about cleaning all of that armor, washing it, getting rid of the tainted debuff, and so now many of our soldiers are actually able to wear the power armor as well. Perfect timing, I might add, as it looks like we're under attack by some damn dirty ne'er-do-wells. Wait a minute, their leader, Sharp. I know that name. Isn't this the same Sharp from episode 1 that Super Meat Boy stabbed several times in the guts and basically beat the absolute dog shit out of him before stripping him and leaving him to lie out in the wasteland for dead? I think it is. I suppose he's none too happy with our treatment of him, and he's come back for revenge. It's been quite some time. He's had a lot of time to prepare. That would explain his new armor and weaponry, as well as the fact that he or somebody else has managed to Frankenstein his organs back together. Yes, well, you're not the only one who's had time to prepare, bitch boy. I'm hoping to keep this battle pretty short and sweet. They have quite a few animals with them. Mega Tardi. We have bog hounds, and we also have a tox bear. I wasn't going to be able to get everyone to inject go juice in time, so I just gave it to Meat Man. I thought that that might be good enough. I do want to make this short and sweet. It would definitely go a lot faster, though, if I could give everyone some go juice. I'm going to move half of our forces down this way. I'm actually going to move Meat Man down this way. Oh, no, not my Protectrons. I completely forgot to draft all the mechs and get them inside. You dumb little machines. I think most of them are already inside, except... son of a bitch, except for Dumpy. Here we go. Oh, my word. All right, we've got bog hounds coming at us. Move back a bit. Let's try to save our laser turret, though. It is new. Oh my god, they're already fleeing, the cowards. Sharp, you son of a bitch, you think you're gonna get away from us? Oh, sharp. No. You definitely are not sharp. Oh, alright, move back a little, though. Damn! Get back here, you son of a bitch. Can Meat Man catch him in time? Perhaps. Stupid mega tard-eye. Damn! Ah, he's going to get away. So close, you son of a bitch. Perhaps we'll meet him again, then. We can at least kill some of his critters. There we go. Son of a oh, wait a minute. His men are trying to flee over this way. That's alright, Damon. You're trying. Well, we won't be letting them get away. Yeah, I don't think so, pal. Ooh, you have a hunter trap backpack. I'm gonna go ahead and strip all these corpses because, obviously, we want that sweet armor. That's a shame. Damn you, Sharp, you son of a bitch. I wonder what he's been doing to get such nice armor and also kind of a little bit of a crew. Did the Tox Bear get away? I guess so. Or did we kill it? I'm not seeing it anywhere. Let's go ahead and kill these bog hounds, the ones that are still alive, and we will actually eat them and feed them to our growing super soldier babies. We'll go ahead and resurrect Dumpy as well. I think we should be able to without issue. Come, Dumpy, come. You're one hell of a fighter. We can't afford to leave you. Well, you're actually one hell of a builder. You're not much of a fighter, I must say. More of a lover, perhaps. Yeah, right. We've got him in there. We'll chuck some steel in there for his repairs and reassembly. And I guess we're good. It looks like we finished off all these freaks. Or at least most of them. And we'll go ahead and get all their armor and things hauled in urgently. It won't be very long at all, I must say, either, before we have the rest of our soldiers fully grown, which is going to be wonderful. And we'll have plenty of armor for them ready to wear as well with this. As well as quite a few weapons. It looks like we've got quite a few assault rifles, maybe even some laser weaponry and what have you. Shame we couldn't get Sharp's minigun, but we also didn't get Sharp, unfortunately. Until we meet again, you dirty bastard. I suppose now it's time for a bit of cleanup, which also really involves those delicious bog hounds. They're a delicacy in this part of the world. You'll just have to take my word for it. We also began going around finishing off the attackers, as well as hauling in most of their arms and armor. During this time, I was really just doing a bit of cleanup as previously mentioned, but also, of course, letting our little super mutants grow in their vats. I really look forward to them being finished very soon. However, I also began thinking, Damon here has been with us for quite some time at this point, and sure, he's a great soldier of the Chinese Empire, but I must say, instead of a soldier, because I have so many, I think he might do us better as a right-hand man. One that could help us with scientific research, such as genetics, cloning, so on and so forth. He actually has a pretty decent intellectual skill, so that helps out a lot. I mean, we have so many robots doing constructing, hauling, cleaning, everything and anything in the laboratory, it would hardly make sense for us to have a living being doing those things. The place is basically automated. And besides, it's nice to have some company helping me out with my research. But enough of that, for it is finally the time that you've all been waiting for. Our little super mutant clone children are now super mutant clone grown men. That's right, baby, they're lean, they're mean, and by God are they green. Speaking of which, I could see a little bit too much of their greenness. How about we send them inside to go ahead and equip some of those outfits and armor, as well as weapons, of course. Ah, there we are. Now you don't all look like a bunch of filthy nudist freaks. I'm so happy to finally have our army. Although, I think they need some proper names. Absolutely perfect. Stellar, even. These names, of course, coming from some of our financial benefactors. Some would call them patrons. Truly now, my friends, we do have a super mutant, super soldier army that has been genetically engineered to be absolute killing machines. Amazing. I don't really know what to do with them all now. A lot of you guys have made suggestions, but I suppose... Oh, a conversation for another time. for now, it looks like we're gonna get to put our army to use. Let's see what we're dealing with. About 10 or so soldiers, although most of them are wearing power armor and carrying some pretty heavy weaponry. Sure, we outnumber them by quite a bit, but not all of our people have that great of armor. Can we defeat them? Oh, hell yeah, of course we can. Can we do it without getting killed? That is the kicker. Alright, we have our army just to the east of the Enclave's forces. I would let them attack so that we could use our defenses like our laser turrets, but I really don't want to end up losing one of those, and even though they would help us out quite a bit, it just isn't worth all the components. We do have everyone high on go juice. Let's get started. I'm of course going to let our meat man take first dibs here, take the lead. This is going to be very loud, I already know it, because there's so many soldiers. I'm just going to come at them right out here in the open. This is going to be a massive firefight. Here we go. Oh my god, alright. Oh, okay, so we've managed to kill one of them so far. We have another one that's down and we killed a trooper. Here we go. Alright. Oh no, we lost someone. We ended up losing one of ours. Damn it, son of a bitch. I'm gonna throw the hunter drone. Okay. Woo. Hunter drone. Okay, we killed some. Hunter drone didn't get anyone. This texture is messed up, but that's okay. Oh, our poor Dustin Berry. Oh no. Alright, look, a big silly Billy move on my part to go about just coming right at them like that, but I wanted to, you know, look, maybe I'm a little overconfident. Oh, poor Dustin Berry. You know what, we'll bury you. The first of our mutants to ever be buried, actually. I'm gonna go ahead and finish off the Enclave soldiers. Many of our people are quite injured as well. We have Schizo Muffins who... yeah, a lot of burns. Many, many burns there. Although it could have been much worse. We could have ended up all of us dying, unfortunately, like our friend Dustin Berry. Everyone's tending to themselves, so I think they'll be fine. We are digging the poor grave of our poor fallen soldier. But you know what? For us to have went this entire series with only one dead soldier, I'm gonna go ahead and say that that's not too bad, honestly. I really am going to... I'm just gonna say that's not too bad. But, Dustin Berry, I'm sorry, my friend. You have fallen. You didn't really have any armor. I mean, you had a combat harness. And are you wearing the... you had the pocketed golden flight helmet. Well, we're going to... listen, respect to our soldiers, of course. But I'm going to strip that helmet from you. Of course, we can rewash this. That pocketed legendary helmet. That's probably the issue with gold being so soft. But we will lay you down to rest, my friend. You served us well. You've only been on this earth for a very short period of time, and most of it was inside a test tube, but by God Almighty, you've earned our respect, and you were a true fighter. I suppose we could all enjoy some meals and time and company to celebrate the occasion of defeating the Enclave yet another time, finishing up and building our facility as well as our army. But I suppose, with all this done, what do we do now? What do we do with our clones? A lot of you guys have mentioned selling them off. I don't know if I like that idea because, you know, it would probably end up being slavers and people who would purchase them. So, I don't know. Maybe we rent them out as a mercenary service or something for people that we approve of, or a defensive force for caravans. Be sure to let me know what you'd like to see them doing throughout our Fallout RimWorld universe. And I want to thank you guys, of course, for watching this series as it comes to an end with this episode. I truly have had so much fun, and I very much appreciate all of you. But my friends, I suppose that this is goodbye for now. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. I suppose I should pay back the old overseer for lending me some constructrons and what have you, shouldn't I? Really, without him doing that, this whole operation never would have gotten off the ground.